us, and so they subconsciously expect us to hate them and dislike them. And finishing up your eloquent writing here, you went on to make the point that no, this is humanity upset about being slaves, upset about being looted, upset about their elected leaders meeting in secret with the big owners. In fact, you said, what threat? The people concerned about this unfairness of the world should drape a banner over a police cordon, that they should shout their anger at the madness of asset-grabbing transnational corporations whose chairmen are sipping beers with our elected officials. It's like a permanent threat. Don't make me spit. And then it talks about them basically harassing you and your wife. Please continue.
Yeah, I mean, let's be clear about who was saying this. The person that was, this conversation was being had by kind of people on the inner core of the Bilderberg conference organization. So they're the Bilderberg group people. They're the sort of people in charge of Bilderberg. They're not the people at Bilderberg who are the participants, but they're very close to the ideology of Bilderberg.
This is top minions.
Yeah, top minions, yeah. And you can actually identify which level the minions are at by their lanyard colours. Someone's pointed out that the delegates have got white lanyards, and I think that the aides have got yellow lanyards, and the security's red, and et cetera, et cetera. And I think the sort of logistic conference organisers have got green lanyards. So it's a very well-run event, and it's a very big event. And my God, the people are starting to talk about the cost of this. And a very interesting quote came out today, which is that it's simply to have, there's all kinds of different police here. There's secret police, there's state police, there's riot police, there's also local police. There's the Mossos d'Esquadra, which is the local Catalonian police, I think. And a quote has come out today that just to have them, I mean, they're just the very lowest, of the police forces around. Just to have them is 150,000 euros per day. So the big question is, who's picking up that tab? Is it the Spanish taxpayer? And if so, that's a disgrace. And if the Bilderberg conference is reimbursing the Spanish taxpayer, then basically they're using the local police as a private army. So either way, it's grotesquely unethical.
And again, up until the last few years, almost no mainstream media coverage, or zero, going back a decade and before. So they are not happy. What do you make of the TV and radio, as well as multiple newspapers in Germany and Spain, reporting that Bill Gates flew into a fake conference? When the media showed up, it wasn't real, and he admitted, I'm really here for Bilderberg. I mean, they even put on a fake medical conference just for him to have a cover. This is incredible.
That is quite extraordinary. And, it's not just incredible. It's absolutely pathetic. I mean, that really is sad, isn't it? I mean, I find this whole, zooming up the hill behind tinted windows and swooping into the underground garage and distractions. And do you remember when President Obama shook off his, shook off the whole, he wasn't president then. But
he was candidate Obama.
And Obama. Yeah, and he shook off the whole press corps, and Axelrod is standing on the plane going, I'm sorry, he's got to go attend some meetings, and the press are going,
but we were there. The Secret Service drove in with 3 black vehicles, and they had submachine guns and pointed them at us. And we have just a blur of the video, but we paused it. It's online. You can see the submachine gun, and those guys are just like out of a movie, just red, because, Hillary and him, and they're just candidates. Yeah. And I'm out there going, the real leader in there. And then here comes the 2 presidential candidates. And then we announced he was there, that it had gone to Hillary from Tucker's sources, and boom, Hillary stood down. Again, they're picking our president, and I, as a citizen, get a machine gun pointed at me, but that's not scary. My bullhorn is scary.
And they're scared. Yeah, no, they're scared, and, they should be scared, because you look at the difference between Greece last year and Spain this year, and the big difference. Physically it looks very similar. It's exactly the same kind of setup. It's a high-security hotel up a hill, and police, Mediterranean police surrounding it in vast numbers, and it's been confirmed that there's military divers off the coast in a boat. The whole thing is very much like last year, when the Greek Navy intercepted a couple of bloggers and photographers, and but what's different is that the media are starting to talk about it. And Alex, you've done an amazing job, because I think people are starting to hear, and you've been shouting on that bullhorn for quite long enough. But you look at the effect now, and And in today, apparently, there's a page in today's Independent newspaper, that's British broadsheet national paper. I think the Guardian are actually picking up another piece and putting it in the newspaper about just more of a newsy kind of piece. And I was on Radio 4 Talking, which is a major news, current affairs radio program called Today.
No, it's worldwide. I mean, I can get it on my XM radio.
Yeah, and so that's what you're seeing there. And there's Spanish newspapers, and apparently the only Spanish newspaper that hasn't really reported on it is the one owned by one of the guys up the hill. But it's very, very different. There are more people here, and there are camera crews, and there are photographers, and there are news reporters, and there are documentary makers, and it feels totally different, and it really feels like a breakthrough.
So the tide is turning against him, exactly as Zbigniew Brzezinski said 3 weeks ago. Other intel when you were inside and talking to other reporters.
Actually, before I go there, can I tell you about something else about the turning of the tide?
Sure.
Which is that, I've just literally been told it. Apparently there's going to be some footage coming up on YouTube somewhere, but the people who've been chanting their chant in Spanish on the roundabout here, they've been chanting to the police. They've been saying, you have a heart behind your badge, you have a brain under your hat. After the football, they've been chanting. After the football, we're the ones you'll be having a beer with. We're the ones you should be protecting. And they kept saying this, you have a heart behind your badge. And apparently, I've been told one of the policemen took off his hat, turned to his colleagues and said, I'm sorry, I can't do this anymore, and walked across the street and joined the protesters. Now, apparently there's footage of that, but if that's the case, that right there is the power of, I sound like an idiot, but that's the power of truth, and that's the power of information.
We just played the video from YouTube of when they had the machine guns pointed out the windows at us. You can pause that later if you're watching this on the web and see it, but that's just from video. We have video stills online that are even crisper. And then they had Marines driving around with clown masks on, following us and harassing us. Again, it's all psychological because we dare go and say, we don't want our president picked in secret. And the Marines are like, this is illegal. A citizen's... yeah, that's a good still right there. We can see him lifting the machine gun up. But there's another shot where it's pointed out. Mr. Skelton, stay with us for another 5 minutes in this segment, and then 5 more. 5 minutes into the next hour. Then we got Jim Tucker coming up later, Bob Chapman, and a lot more. I want to talk about more what you saw inside the hotel as they threw you out, and what other reporters are telling you, what intel they're getting. But that's really exciting news. Hi, this is Alex Jones. Did you know that the global elite are now storing non-hybrid seeds in secret storage vaults near the Arctic Circle? Did you know that in a real meltdown, non-hybrid seeds can become more valuable than silver or gold? It's true, seeds have outperformed even gold and silver before in this country, and it's possible that could even happen again. So our friends at Solutions from Science have put together the perfect mix of non-hybrid seeds. They call it a survival seed bank, and it can produce an endless supply of nutrient-dense food for you and your family. And here's the best part. These seeds have not been genetically modified in any way, and you actually get enough seeds to plant a full-acre crisis garden. So visit them today at survivalseedbank.com. That's survivalseedbank.com, or give them a call at 877-327-0365. That's 877-327-0365. Remember, in a real crisis, non-hybrid seeds are the ultimate barter item. This is Alex Jones for survivalseedbank.com.
You worry. If you don't understand the situation. Hi, summer's coming, and now's the time to learn self-sufficiency. If you're going to eat from nature's bounty of wild edible plants, remember, there's a learning curve. Experience is the best teacher, but that means time. To speed it up, you'll need to build on the wisdom of a teacher who has lived it. Author Linda Runyon is that teacher. Her Wild Food Knowledge Package is the crash course. The DVD gives you a 3-hour overview of her world directly from her. The book gives you an in-depth reference with all of the insider know-how you'll ever need. And her wild cards are your portable summary and cheat sheet for your field work. This 3-pronged learning system will take you from spectator to scholar to gourmet survivalist in weeks, not years. Folks, I can vouch that Linda's the real deal. She's my mom, and I watched her do it. So go to ofthefield.com or call 888-51-EAT-FREE. Start now. Knowledge is power. Better take action. I think a storm's coming.
You've seen our SinoFresh banner on the GCN website, yet your sinusitis is still a problem. Are you waiting for your sinusitis to go away by itself? Are you waiting for a SinoFresh discount? Okay, here it comes. But first, the facts. 67 other products merely treat symptoms and not the cause of sinus problems. And 37 million Americans suffer from sinus distress just like you. But now many are finding relief with the only patent-protected homeopathic nasal product that antiseptically eliminates the known causes of sinusitis. SinoFresh. Now here's your limited time discount offer to use SinoFresh. Call 888-906-3636 right now for $2 off per bottle when you mention GCN. That's it. Just call 888-906-3636 and mention GCN for a $2 discount. But hurry, this offer is only for the first 1,000 customers. Call 888-906